in a dream run for PG. Can the dream run continue? That's the question. Can the numbers match these tall expectations? Well, the company reported a very strong quarter, Q3 that is. The business grew about 82%. I mean, it's largely coming in from the product business growth. The room AC segment, of course, has been leading this from the front. Not just this, the company has increased its guidance for FY25 as well on revenue and profits. To talk about this and the outlook ahead, we have with us Vikas Gupta, Managing Director, Operations at PG Electroplast. Mr. Gupta, great to have you on. Thank you for joining in. So the math has already been done because you've raised your full-year guidance. I think the expectation is now 100% revenue growth in Q4. 48% revenue growth in Q4, maybe 100% growth in Pact. Just the back of the envelope calculations. But I want to start, before we talk about room ACs where your order book is swelling, I want to ask a bigger question. The market is expecting, fantastic, the superlative kind of growth rates to continue, which is why you get the valuation that you do. So what is a realistic growth rate that you'll guide for FY26? You're also getting into newer areas like EVs, etc., right? You're also looking at new tie-ups. What can PG Electroplast do on a steady state basis over FY26, FY27?
Good morning, Surabhi. It's always a pleasure to be on your show. Actually, if you look at the past history as well for our company, and we have been able to deliver the performance of almost around 30 to 35% of CAGR over a period of the last 8 to 9 years. And I know now the base is much larger, and we have to work a little more harder to achieve a CAGR growth of another 30-35% for coming 3, 4, 5 years as well. But what we see, the opportunity size in our all product categories is very huge, and we see a lot of growth potential in all these categories. Other than that, we are also working on other product categories and other businesses as well. And I think we should be able to maintain the growth rates of almost around 30 to 35% for coming 2, 3 years as well. So we are already working on that. Their teams working on developing new products, getting into new categories. So we are very optimistic on that.
So, if I talk about this target of sustaining 30 to 35% growth, how much will it continue to be room ACs, which is obviously, your best growing segment? I think washing machines is pretty big. And also tell us, since we're talking washing machines, what conversations you're having with Whirlpool. I mean, Whirlpool is a sort of big name, big marquee brand for you. But the company is going through its own motions. I mean, with the global parent looking at selling down more of its stake, and maybe there's a bit of a strategy churn going on. I'm not quite sure. But tell us what you're expecting in washing machines, with Whirlpool being one of the big brands that you work with.
So in washing machine particularly, we are expanding our capacities further. In fact, we are already in the middle of CapEx for expansion of our capacity in washing machine. And we will be taking it to a level of almost around 200,000 washing machines per month. Regarding Whirlpool specifically, we have already started doing pilot runs. We expect to start the mass production by end of this month or the first week of coming month. We have discussed, and we do not see any challenges for our business with Whirlpool on washing machines and other product categories. Okay, there might be some movement internally. There is some churn at their end. But Whirlpool is a very strong brand in India, and we see a lot of promise for them.
All right. Hi, Vikas. Good morning and good to see you. And I want to focus on another point. You're in advanced discussions with the strategic tie-up for RAC Compressor. Could you tell us how is the agreement shaping up? Is it royalty-based? Is it fixed outgo? And also, what kind of RAC compressor volumes do you expect to consume in-house?
Good morning, Nigel. So the RAC compressor discussions is in very advanced stage. It will not be appropriate for me to give the specific details about the nature of that agreement, but definitely we are at very advanced stages. And our idea is that the almost 60 to 70% of the production of compressors will be consumed by us internally. So it will be a margin accretive for us. And maybe around 40% of the compressors will be sold by us to outside entities.
So margin accretive, how much? That's exactly because it's backward integration. So what should we expect in terms of margin improvement for the RAC business once your compressor business is up and running?
So, Surabhi, we are still doing the number crunching. It will be not appropriate for me to give those details right now. We'll be making a very detailed announcement on that once we are able to close the agreement.
All right, because we're running short of time, had more questions, but we'll leave it for another day. But we look forward to hearing on that agreement on the RAC compressor side soon, and we'll talk more. Thanks very much for joining us for that quick chat this morning. So 863 stocks, of course, done phenomenally well over the last many years. Well.